I was in the 5th grade. One of the other children was in the 5th grade, and the other child was a 6th grader. We all ended up in the 6th grade because, as far as I can tell, the adults didn't tell children much at that time. But looking back, Mrs. Olive Bopp, who was the teacher, was the only teacher in the school that would take us. And she was a 6th grade teacher. So I basically have no idea what the 5th grade looks like. But I did learn 6th grade stuff 2 years in a row because, they didn't promote you. But it was during that time I started developing a stiff neck. And I would come home and it would be so painful that I couldn't turn, from one side to the other. And my mother took me to the doctor to try to find out what was it that was doing this, and he couldn't find anything wrong. And so it would always do that. Never happened over the weekend. Always eventually went away at night. But gradually during the day, the neck would stiffen. And so my mother determined that perhaps I was holding in a lot of tension, and it was manifesting itself in that way. And she would sit me down and ask me why. Of course, I couldn't figure out why. But she said, you'll be okay as long as you remember that you cannot be as good as your white classmates. You have to be better than. So don't worry about being the same. You worry about being better. From that moment until now that, I will tell you, I'm 60, I have not seen that change. I have not been able to see where I could react to an issue or be involved in something on the same level as a white person. I've always had to either gather my innards and become better than, look over the obvious in order to be better than. And I don't see that has changed. And I wish it had. But when I look at my children, I have 2 boys and a girl. Well, 2 men and a woman. And I don't see it has changed in their lives. As much as whenever they started believing what was told to them, that they were equal, something would happen to bring reality back. Look at what they did with Barack Obama. He's biracial. I mean, one race should have been just as proud as the other. We have this, look what we can do when we come together. Instead, Barack had to choose, and he chose to be called black. One day we won't have to choose.